Once upon a time, in a sprawling kingdom called Luminara, where rolling hills met dense forests and rivers sparkled like ribbons of silver, there lived a young girl named Seraphina. She was known for her striking features: hair like spun gold, eyes the color of the deepest ocean, and a smile that could light up the darkest room. But Seraphina had a flaw that overshadowed her beauty. She was vain. She spent hours gazing at her reflection, dreaming of being the most beautiful girl in all the land. One fateful afternoon, while wandering the enchanted woods near her village, Seraphina stumbled upon a hidden path she had never noticed before. The path was lined with glowing flowers that pulsed with a soft golden light. Curiosity tugged at her, and she followed it deeper into the forest until she reached a clearing. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient, ivy-covered cottage. Its windows were dark, and the door creaked open as if inviting her inside. Seraphina hesitated but stepped in, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. The cottage was filled with strange and wondrous objects: crystal orbs that hummed with energy, golden feathers that shimmered in the dim light, and books with pages that seemed to turn on their own. But what caught Seraphina's attention was a magnificent mirror hanging on the far wall. Its frame was carved with intricate designs of vines, stars, and mythical creatures, and its surface glowed with an otherworldly light. As Seraphina approached, the mirror's surface rippled, and a gentle, melodic voice echoed through the room. "Greetings, Seraphina. I am the magic mirror, and I can grant you your heart's deepest desire." Seraphina's eyes widened. "Can you make me the most beautiful girl in the world?" The mirror's surface shimmered. "I can, but beauty comes with a price. Are you willing to pay it?" Without a second thought, Seraphina nodded. "Yes, of course." The mirror's voice grew solemn. "Very well. From this day forward, your beauty will be unmatched. But remember, true beauty lies not in appearance, but in the heart. If you forget this, the consequences will be dire." Seraphina barely heard the warning. She was too captivated by her reflection, which had transformed into the most breathtaking vision she had ever seen. Her skin glowed like moonlight, her hair sparkled like stardust, and her eyes shone with an inner radiance. Overjoyed, she ran back to her village to show everyone. At first, Seraphina's new beauty brought her fame and admiration. People traveled from distant lands just to catch a glimpse of her. She was invited to royal balls, showered with gifts, and praised wherever she went. But as time passed, Seraphina grew arrogant. She began to look down on others, mocking their flaws and refusing to help those in need. She spent all her time preening and admiring herself, ignoring her friends and family. One day, an old woman with a hunched back and tattered clothes came to Seraphina's door. Her face was lined with wrinkles, and her hands trembled as she held out a wooden bowl. "Please, kind lady," the woman croaked, "I haven't eaten in days. Could you spare a morsel of food?" Seraphina wrinkled her nose in disgust. "You're filthy. Go away before you ruin my dress." The old woman's eyes filled with sadness. "You were warned, Seraphina. True beauty lies in the heart." Before Seraphina could respond, the woman vanished in a swirl of golden light. That night, Seraphina looked in the mirror and gasped. Her once radiant beauty was fading. Her hair lost its luster, her skin grew pale, and her eyes dulled. Terrified, Seraphina ran back to the enchanted woods and the cottage with the magic mirror. The mirror awaited her, its surface swirling like a storm. "Please," Seraphina cried, "fix me. Make me beautiful again." The mirror's voice was stern. "You were given a gift, Seraphina, but you squandered it. Beauty without kindness is hollow. If you wish to regain what you've lost, you must prove that your heart has changed." Seraphina fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "I'll do anything." "Then listen carefully," the mirror said. "For the next year, you must perform a selfless act every day. Help those in need, show kindness to strangers, and put others before yourself. Only then will your beauty return not just on the outside, but within." Seraphina agreed, and from that day forward, she worked tirelessly to change. She began by helping her elderly neighbor, Mrs. Bramble, tend her garden. She gave her finest dress to a poor girl in the village who had nothing to wear to the harvest festival. She even stood up to the village bully, who had been tormenting a young boy named Finn. At first, it was difficult. Seraphina was used to being the center of attention, not the one giving it. But as the days turned into weeks, she began to find joy in helping others. She discovered that the smiles of those she helped were more rewarding than any compliment about her beauty. One day, while walking through the village, Seraphina noticed a commotion near the town square. A traveling merchant's cart had overturned, scattering his wares across the cobblestones. Without hesitation, Seraphina rushed to help. She gathered the fallen goods, comforted the merchant's frightened horse, and even offered the man a place to stay for the night. The merchant, an elderly man with kind eyes, thanked her profusely. "You have a beautiful heart, young lady," he said. "That is a rare and precious gift." Seraphina smiled, feeling a warmth in her chest that she had never known before. As the year drew to a close, Seraphina returned to the magic mirror. This time, her reflection showed not only her radiant beauty, but also a warmth and kindness that shone brighter than any physical trait. The mirror's voice was gentle. "You have learned the true meaning of beauty, Seraphina. Remember this lesson and let it guide you always." Seraphina smiled, her heart full. She returned to her village, not as a vain girl, but as a compassionate young woman. And though her beauty was renowned throughout the land, it was her kindness that people remembered most. Years later, Seraphina became the Queen of Luminara, ruling with wisdom and compassion. She often visited the enchanted woods, not to seek the magic mirror, but to remind herself of the lesson she had learned. And so, Seraphina lived happily ever after, her story a timeless reminder that true beauty lies not in what we see, but in what we do.